Have you ever thought about the hidden dangers in your favorite snacks? You might be shocked to learn that some everyday foods could be downright deadly, causing you more harm than good without you even realizing it. Before we begin, if you're serious about living longer and better, check our recommended supplements in the link down in the description. Now onto the video. Many people assume that if a food is widely available and marketed, it must be safe to eat. But the truth is, some foods are more dangerous than we think, and it's time to shed some light on this common misconception. It's not that all foods are created equal, and some can have devastating consequences if consumed excessively or without proper preparation. One of the main reasons we underestimate the risks associated with certain foods is that they're often hidden in plain sight. We're led to believe that if a food is natural, it must be healthy. But the reality is, even Mother Nature can be deadly if we're not careful. Take, for instance, the humble potato. While it's a staple in many households, eating green or sprouted potatoes can be toxic due to their high levels of solanine. Another reason we tend to overlook the dangers of certain foods is that the risks are often associated with extreme cases. We hear about someone who eats a certain food and ends up in the hospital, but we assume it won't happen to us because we're not eating it in the same quantities. However, the truth is, even moderate consumption of certain foods can have long-term effects that can be just as damaging. Many foods that are commonly consumed have been linked to increased risk of chronic diseases, such as heart disease, diabetes, and even certain types of cancer. Foods high in sugar, salt, and unhealthy fats are obvious culprits, but there are other foods that might surprise you. Raw or undercooked chicken is one of the most dangerous foods out there, with the risk of Salmonella and Campylobacter looming large. And yet, many of us are guilty of not handling or cooking chicken properly, putting ourselves and our loved ones at risk. In fact, according to the CDC, foodborne illnesses affect over 48 million people in the US every year, and chicken is one of the top culprits. Fugu, or pufferfish, is another food that can be deadly if not prepared correctly. Containing a toxin called tetrodotoxin, fugu can be fatal if ingested in large quantities. And yet, many Japanese chefs undergo rigorous training to learn how to prepare this delicacy safely. Cassava, also known as yuca or manioc, is another food that can be toxic if not cooked properly. Containing naturally occurring cyanide, cassava can cause serious health problems if ingested in large quantities or without proper cooking. But perhaps the most surprising food on this list is the humble frozen pizza. While it might seem like a harmless convenience food, many frozen pizzas contain high levels of sodium and preservatives, making them a ticking time bomb for our health. The dangers of frozen pizza are often hidden in plain sight. We're led to believe that it's a convenient and affordable meal option. But the truth is, many frozen pizzas are little more than a vehicle for salt, sugar, and unhealthy fats. In fact, a single slice of frozen pizza can contain over 50% of our daily recommended intake of sodium, making it a major contributor to cardiovascular disease. So, what can we do about it? The first step is educating ourselves about the foods we eat. By being aware of the risks associated with certain foods, we can take steps to mitigate them. We can also make informed choices about what we put in our bodies, opting for healthier alternatives whenever possible. In conclusion, it's time to take a closer look at the foods we eat and the risks they pose. By being aware of the hidden dangers in our favorite snacks, we can take control of our health and make informed choices about what we put in our bodies. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to comment below about your experiences with these foods. And if you want to learn more about food safety, be sure to check out our video on the top 5 foodborne illnesses you need to know about.